Today we're going to install a late model rearview mirror in the Chevelle to get all the cool features. Join me. So we take our cool new mirror and you slide it in here, pop this piece off, just clips in, and we'll take the insides out. There's a little ribbon cable, comes in through the back here, plugs in right there in the mirror. So we're going to set that aside. And this is what we're working with. When you first take this off, there's going to be a piece on here. This is going to be a ball shaped, kind of like that. And this will sit on there. In fact, I got one right here. Already spare. This is going to look just like that. Down inside of there is going to be a little ball. This is a little spring in here that keeps tension, and this is what mounts to the little tab that goes on your dash. That guy. But the Chevelle does not do that, and I'm not putting that on there because I don't want to see that from 10 feet away when I walk up to the car. But I want all the things. I want to have a garage door opener on the mirror built into the car instead of just hanging out right there in the dash, because everything else is built in here. So rest of mod, right? So you can take this screw out. That metal piece comes off, and that releases this piece, which we're going to be working with. I just cut very lightly with the cutoff wheel around where the spring would be, pulled the spring off somewhere in here. This little guy, not a lot of tension, just enough to keep it tight. Pulled that little guy out, set it off, and you can see I kind of use the angle grinder here and notch that until I can pull this off, and that gave me this ball shaped piece. So then I just took my grinder and made this flat. You get into the channel here where the screw runs and just drill me a hole out, same diameter as factory screw. When you do all this, I didn't have enough bite to like squeeze this together tight on here. So I got me another bolt from my bolt bin and ramrodded that down in there and stuck out a little bit. So same grinder, ground it flush. So now I have one hand filming. There we go. Anyway, this will sit on there and it will locate a brand new mirror with the old mount. That will go like this. This obviously is not the one I'm going to use. I'm going to get one that has the Homelink down here, temp and the compass on there, but that will mount to the factory mount. Pop the top off. Got the mount out. And as you can see, the one I was using, a sacrificial mount, a little bit different. This one's bigger, had a different base on the inside. As you can see, it's a lot bigger. I guess they needed more support in there. So we're not going to use that piece. I just used the same bolt that was in here and this backing plate, which is already made for this mirror, and attached my monstrosity on there. So now the mount's going to mount. So we'll get this thing wiped down, put back together, and get it in the car. Taking the screw out real quick. This holds the top part of the bracket. Make sure you drop that on the ground. That'll help you find it later. This holds this little cover here, which just kind of slides on, and then that'll expose the bracket for the pivot point of the arm. So you can drop that screw down, and then you can get at your little mount. It falls out once you pull it down. So now we got this contraption. So we're just gonna take it off the ball, We're going to put it on this ball and put it back up the opposite of how we took it out. Line these two holes up. You'll hear it pop down in there. You can drop the screw in, or you can just click ahead if you know how to take a mirror out. Easy day. Just showing you how simple this is. Make sure you do that and strip it out. That's exactly what you want. Great. All right, well, I was a meathead and stripped that screw out using my ogre strength in here. Hey, reminds me of a guy I used to work with in the Navy. Ogre smash. He used to do stuff like that. Anyways, we're going to run a bigger screw in there. That's what you tell all the girls, but this one's going to be a little bigger. Just like that. And then slide. That doesn't go that way. Remember Thomas Edison had this much problems doing shit. Who knows? We're shining a light on that topic. Okay. Now we'll put the screw in. Tighten it down. Put our little in here. You get over those holes. Make sure you lose that screw that we lost earlier. Somewhere over here. Perfect. And ram that in there. And you will have what will look like a factory mirror in here. Well, it is a factory mirror, but not for this application. Oh. And that's an example of how you don't mount those, because it will just break right off. Perfect. Now see, a lot of folks will take the time, stop filming, and say, you know what? Maybe this whole video, this whole idea was a bad choice, and I should just not post this. But that's kind of what hot rodding to me is all about, is trying dumb shit, and sometimes you end up burning your car down. But you learn that's not how that shit's going to work. I did all this because I didn't want a stupid mirror tab glued to my windshield, because that's not how it came from the factory. But neither is this mirror, and I think it's going to be the easiest, safest, and most effective way to mount that. And that just proved that if I was in a wreck, that probably would have been in my head. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go buy, I know I said that word, we're going to go buy a little $6 mirror mount. I'm going to put this joker somewhere in this area. So we'll see you guys in a minute. Quick trip to the auto parts store. Got me a 3-pack of buttons. Focus. So I got one that fit in the mirror pretty good, and got this one. So it comes with the little, I think I already tossed it out. It comes with a little wipe. That wipe is the primer. It's also cleaning. You have to use the wipe. You can't clean it with, Windex and then expect this stuff to stick. It'll just fall right off. So it's a 2-part glue. Use the primer wipe. Let it dry for a minute like it says. Once it fogs up, you're good to put a couple drops on your mount, stick it up on there. Let it sit for 30 minutes before you put your mirror on, or it'll fall off. And this a few times, you got to follow the instructions. Once you do that, you can just wipe off all the excess. It just comes off with a dry rag, and then there you go. You got your mirror mounted. So we're going to let this dry, and we'll come back at it. Well, here's the test. There it is. Got the compass working. Still got to hook up the temp sensor wires, but that's going to be another day. Homelink buttons all work. But we learned what not to do, and we got this mirror installed. Doesn't look too bad. Wasn't able to use a factory mount, but still got the features I want. So thanks for watching. See you next time.